Ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally arrived. Yes, it is the Bama Standard. Yes, it is Tuesday night. Time for your greatest platform for Alabama content there is. And yes, Steve Brown is wearing a celebration hat. Why? Because, folks, it's game week. Game one, Alabama, Middle Tennessee State. Again, this is the Bama Standard. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Get in this comment section. Let's get fired up tonight. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. Let us know what you think. I'm Justin Riley, and we are brought to you by Workspace Solutions. If your business needs a full-fledged marketing team or just a digital presence, these are the guys you want to contact at an affordable rate. Hey, but they also keep the lights on for us. Listen, we got an all-star crew tonight, -1, so that means we'll actually get to talk, right? With me, as always, is a living legend, not only in the world of comedy, but broadcasting and every single walk of life. They should have a statue in every city that he's been in. Pure gold, plated with diamonds and any kind of emerald. The one, the only, Steve Brown.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it, man.
Steve Brown.
You forgot the star of the show.
Gosh, I'm so excited about game week, man. You have to give it to me. Give me one pass. Friday, I'll make it right.
Yeah,
joining him.
Well, you know what? Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Everybody does.
Listen, I'm celebrating, man, game week, but also is that a lame guy, Marvin Constant. Today is his birthday, and I got the birthday hat on, not for his birthday. I'm celebrating because he's not here. So, you know, all of the attention to be on me now. So, yeah, I'm happy.
It was always meant to be, Steve. And, hey,
thank you.
We're going to honor that the right way tonight. But happy birthday to Marvin Constant. He's old as hell tonight, and we sent him a basket of assorted body oils because we know what he likes to do on his Instagram. But before I get too far down that rabbit hole, we also have the senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine and international sex symbol, Stephen M. Smith.
Yo.
And the baddest man to ever tote the rock, two-time national champion, two-time USFL champion, the Bo Scarborough. Fellas, how y'all feeling?
What's up?
Great, man. Great.
Game week, baby, is here. Game week.
Excited. Yeah.
Well, let's get things rocking the right way, and that's going to be with Stephen M. Smith. He's got an exciting depth chart, so let's jump right to it.
Well, first off, people, let's give a round of applause for the second week in a row. Nick Saban did not come at me, so that means that I'm doing something correctly here for the second week in a row. But the temperature in the room for the press conference on Monday was a different atmosphere. Normally, there's 10 to 12 people in there. It was 70 people in there Monday. ESPN had their whole SWAT team in there. Yes, that they wait until the first week of the season to do this. But the one thing Coach Saban mentioned is wanting to establish the identity early against MTSU. The players all summer, the coaches all summer have talked about wanting to be dominant, be physical, get after guys. So Saban wants to see that. But, you know, he for the first time, he did not release a depth chart. And people were going crazy about that. There's no depth chart. What you doing, Saban? What's going on, Saban? And I understand the coach's reason behind it. He said, hey, this creates too much of a distraction. The guys aren't focused. They're not putting their attention on the right thing. So I can understand why Saban said that. But what I did come away with, guys, as much as we want to see, you know, all the quarterbacks do well, absolutely. Saban did mention, hey, when it comes to Jalen Milroe, there is more consistency in his play. He's more confident in what he's doing out there. He's comfortable in the pocket, making decisions, playing quarterback in the pocket. And most importantly, he's made big improvement out there as far as being that complete quarterback is concerned. So Saban not giving the depth chart, wants to see the physicality, but he is encouraged and very happy with all of his progress that Milroe made from camp to where we stand right now.
Absolutely. Love that. Folks, I got to remind y'all of one important thing. This Friday night, 7 p.m., at the beautiful Bryant Museum, the Bama Standard is going to be live. And what do we need from you guys? We need you to come pack it out, show up and show out. Let's do this thing right. And we're going to be there all weekend. We'll have plenty of opportunities for you to meet the star and us too, if you want to, really. But it's going to be the best weekend of your life. So please be a part of that.
And
Yeah.
there will be both Scarborough merch with the number 9 and Scarborough on the back of it. And for the Tennessee week, I got some good shirts for the Tennessee week, and I think the fans is gonna be super excited about the Tennessee week shirts that I have. And the Tennessee shirts are in black.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I have a couple of things that I'm bringing Friday, man. I'm excited.
I
I'm
hope
the
you
first.
bring in
I'm
the
the
trophies back that you stole.
So listen, I'm not able to speak on that because of legal ramifications, but they will be returned. So yeah. So, but I just got these in the mail, and I'm going to be giving them out to fans. My first, since Stephen M is one of my favorites on this podcast. I got my assorted Stephen M Smith glasses, so I have them to give out to the fans. And yeah, and they came like this. You can't straighten them out. They're meant to be worn just like this. So fans, be in the building. The first 20 people get a pair absolutely free, and then the rest of them will be free. So yeah, come on out.
And he also has a bedazzled pair for the ladies. So we got y'all covered in every way possible.
There it is.
So first thing I want to address, and no, we're not going to talk quarterback just yet, but yeah, we will get to it. One of the biggest things Coach Saban talked about, and what we talked about at length last year, was the fact we did not have an offensive identity. Who was Alabama? We tried to be pretenders at times to make everybody feel like we were gaining ground. We were establishing some momentum, but it looked forced. It wasn't real. So, guys, and I'll start with you, Bo. How important right now, even in game one, is it for us to establish that identity?
It's very important because it's just like the first impression of your team. That's what that first game, everybody get that film. And how you play on that film, that's what other teams gonna take. They gonna when they watch that first film, however you play, that's how other teams gonna view you when they watch that film. If we play soft, the coaches gonna tell their players these guys are soft. All the thing we have to do is come out, hit them in the mouth, and they gonna buy down. But if we come out like we usually do over the last decade, we come out, hit players in the mouth, establish the identity to let them know that this is a hard-nosed football team that gonna play all fourth quarters. Even if it's an overtime, we're gonna still have the energy to play like it's the first quarter. And I think when guys see that on film, that's when they get afraid because they see that we're playing how we played in the first quarter is how we playing in the second quarter, and they looking at it like the guy doesn't get tired. And years ago, we were wearing offensive linemen out with their when we were rotating 9 defensive linemen, and you got 9 defensive linemen coming in just as good as the one that was in before, but they're not switching offensive linemen out. So if our defense come out with that mentality of we're gonna hit them in the mouth and show them where Alabama's is all about, and that we have not lost the dynasty, I think they're gonna be the spark for the offense, and the offense is gonna come out. The offense is gonna come out off of the defense energy, and they gonna get them more confident to not let the defense down. So they gonna go out there and play the same way that the defense played because the defense went out there, play hard nosed football, hit them in the mouth, made blood come out, and that bring juice to the offense. So that made the offense want to go out there and do the same thing. Because when I was there, when Jay Reed and Ruben and Ryan and Reggie Ragland go out there and hit somebody, man, Cam Robinson and all them boys, they get fired up. And when Cam Robinson get fired up, I'm fired up. And after that, Darius fired up. Now the whole offense just full of blood, and we just ready to go take some heads off. And that's how our team came together that one. And now with this whole dynasty, that when the game start, we looking over at the other side of the sideline at the other team, and we bouncing around, ain't got no smile on our face, and we looking at the other team, and they looking like they scared to take the field.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. So we got kind of a 300 thing going where we're just going to wipe out everybody. I like that blood, this devastation. Just, I love it. Steve Brown, I want to hear from you. Put on your analysis cap, man. What do we need to see from these guys? What kind of identity does Alabama take on in game one?
First off, I just want to comment on piggyback off of something Bo said. Pretty much what Bo was telling us is that Alabama was full of vampires, and they were nasty. They were nasty. They wanted to see blood, and that's just not nice. So I think personally, the team is already sent the message that we're going to be smash mouth. We're going to hit you in the face. We're not last year, year before, or year before that. We're not coming out with the spread and all this other stuff. We're coming to hit you, and we're talking about the offense. And I mean this joyless murder ball thing. They pretty much told us what the identity of the team is going to be. Now all we got to do is sit back and watch them show us. So I'm ready for it. If they're coming out doing exactly what Bo said they were doing back in the day, I'm happy.
And I also wanna say this. This whole off season, everybody been talking about the defense, and the quarterback. But guess what? Every time they don't talk about Alabama offense, we come out and shock the world with lethal weapons
Yeah.
that they didn't know that we had, and they be shocked. And we done did it plenty of times, especially when Lane Kiffin went there. When Lane Kiffin went there, they never talked about how powerful our offense was gonna be, or how we gonna get their offense back the way it was. The only person they talked about on offense was the quarterback, and then they moved to the whole section of the defense.
Right.
They
Hey,
ain't
you know
talk
what,
about
Bo?
one person on defense. They talked about the whole defense. Then when they talk about the offense, they talk about one person. Who gonna be the quarterback? And that's where they mess up at, because they not paying attention to those receivers, those offensive line, and those tight end, and those guys got a chip on their shoulder, and they gonna go out there and show the world why they should be talked about, and they're gonna be and they're gonna end up being in the top 5 offense this year. I can see it.
Steve, you want to add something before we let the baton be handed to the illustrious Stephen M. Smith?
No, you know what? I was just pretty much thinking on terms of what Bo was saying. He said it all. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Stephen. What do we see in terms of an identity?
I mean, first off, we can look at it's already been mentioned. The guys going to play joyless murder ball. So offensively, I want to see the run game, because the last 2 years the identity has been Bryce Young, and God help us, Bryce Young. that's been the identity the last 2 years. So now with no more Bryce Young, it's oh snap, we all have to play together, because we all have to compensate for each other. So I want to see absolutely this run game, no doubt about that. Defensively, I want to see assignment football and guys not overthinking. See it, go after it. That's what I want to see. That's why you brought Kevin Steele, to get rid of all this football for dummies stuff that Pete Golder was trying to teach. You bring in Kevin Steele, you see it, you attack it. You read it, you go get it. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Steve, what you got?
You know what, man? I was thinking the same thing. Again, Bo pretty much summed up everything as far as offense. But I will say this, and it's a good point. Um, Miami beat. Middle Tennessee beat Miami last year, right? You know that, right?
Mhm. Yes.
And they flew all over the field on them. You know who the defensive coordinator was?
Kevin Steele.
It was Kevin Steele. So we want to see. I want to see what Kevin Steele do to this same team with a different personnel. So I've heard people say, "Well, he's old, he's over the hill, or whatever." So now Kevin Steele, it's your time to show us what you really got. To see if you caught up with the game, because people have been saying, "Well, man, he's old. Football has passed him by, and all that." So we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? If Bama goes out there and do what Bama's supposed to do, then apparently that was on Kevin Steele's personnel, which is Miami, the players. But we have all elite players across the field. So if they still do that on us come Saturday, then we got a big problem. So I'm definitely in with what both of them said, and I'm just excited.
Yeah, and I think you can find the fountain of youth with the right personnel. I think that can revitalize any over the hill guys, what many people like to believe Kevin Steele is. Bo, what you got for us?
I'm gonna piggyback off of what Steve said. Uh, Kevin Steele, he have a point to prove
Mm-hmm.
because no one thought that he can be the defensive coordinator at Alabama, and
Right.
then he went down to Auburn, did a good job, and then he went on else and did a good job. Now that he back at Alabama, I think that Kevin Steele is coaching these guys how Urban Meyer was coaching them guys back in 2007 and 2008 when they was a hard-nosed football team and they were playing balls to the wall and they were giving everything they got. I think that Kevin Steele is installing that in their head that you don't come off that field unless your bone is poking out your skin.
Mm.
Huh?
And that's
Ooh.
gonna be the toughness of that team. That's how we became tough. Coach Saban would preach to us every week. Don't come off that field unless your bone is poking out your skin. Because if you land on the ground for a thigh contusion or a hamstring, land on the ground and then 2 minutes later you walking off the field, they're just showing a sign of weakness. And if we have multiple players doing that, think about what the other team gonna think. They weak. We got them. We can beat them. Only thing we gotta do is keep beating them up, and that's what our mindset was when we were playing. Once one guy get hurt, we knew we got them. Only thing we gotta do is keep playing the way that we playing, and we can be tired as a dog. But when we line up across from that other guy, and he look into our eyes, he gonna say, how is the guy not tired and he has not been out the game? You wanna know why? Because we are mentally strong. We are
Mm-hmm.
physically strong. We know how to hold our tiredness in without showing it. But one thing about it, we gonna play lights out. And after the
For sure.
game, we may not be able to walk, but we ain't gonna show the other team that weakness.
I like that.
And I
Mentality is
think and I
returning.
think that what Kevin Steele is installing into them defensive players.
And this kind of ties into the question we have from MFR Jones. I got a question. What does everyone on the panel think about both coordinators being in the press box for this game? I got to admit, guys, when I first heard that they're going to be in the booth, it kind of made me a little nervous and a little frustrated because we saw the result from Booth O'Brien last year. Of course, Pete Golden is going to be Pete Golden, right? But how effective can they be from that booth? Can they still get their message across? Are they in that booth because they have entrusted the players and the players are going to be back to self-policing because they're self-disciplined, they're drawn in, and they're not going to put up with crap anymore? Stephen M. Smith, I'll let you start out with this, and then we'll
I
go to
think
Steve Brown, then Bo will finish up.
I think that's a big part of it. This team is more so player policed. This team is more so ran by the players. Dallas Turner mentioned it in Nashville at media days that Kevin Steele lets the players run the team. I think the interesting part will be the conversation between Tommy Rees and Jalen Milroe. When Jalen Milroe's getting that call in his headset, going in there, communicating that call out, that's kind of what I want to see. I kind of want to see how often does Tommy Rees yell at guys, cuss at guys, get demonstrative at guys from that press box up there, because he's known for doing that. But I don't see this as a bad thing. I think this will be the first game of the season where they'll get kind of a feel for it. I think next week against Texas, we'll see one of these two, either Steele or Tommy Rees, on the field. I know there's an NCAA ruling where you can only have so few coaches on the field. And I know you got Eric Walter will be on the field, Travaris Robinson will be on the field, Freddie Roach will be on the field. There'll be 6 or 7 guys on the field. So I know there's an NCAA ruling, but I think for this first game, it'll be more for just get a feel for it. I think versus Texas, one of these two guys will be on the field and not upstairs. But I think from a defensive perspective, this is a player-ran team. I don't think Kevin Steele will have an issue with that, with him being up in the box. I think more so offensively, that communication between Tommy Rees and Jalen Milroe, that'll be where my eyes will be at.
Speaking of that, George Lambert, Steve Brown finally paid his light bill, or is that Stephen M. Smith's glasses?
So
Be careful, George. You won't be getting the replica set of glasses come Friday.
No, he blew it. He blew it. So I them being in the press box, it shows me that there is a sign of growth and maturity. And I feel like them being in the press box, it kind of piggybacks on what Stephen is saying. They are getting back to the Bama standard, meaning players policing each other and holding each other accountable. No more mix and match and this and that, the stuff Pete Golden was doing and this and that. In other words, out there babysitting them and putting them on a leash and this and this. No, we're going to get it, and all 11 of us, we're going to be responsible for what we're supposed to do. If not, we're getting somebody else in there. So you probably, I bet I bet there are plenty of fights at practice about people holding each other accountable. I think this is just a new team and a new identity. They want to go out and punish people instead of being punished, and I believe that. So
now going to the fights here, Steve, that there's a point there, because there have been several reports about guys in the locker room cheating on reps in the weight room, and Deontay Lawson, as the middle linebacker, is checking dudes, cussing dudes out, getting in dudes' face, checking dudes. Hey, we doing all of these workouts. J.C. Latham on the offensive line, checking guys, getting in guys' face, punching guys. Hey, this is going to be done correctly. So if a team is policing the leaders on this team, and it's not just one, it's several guys. This entire team has been policed by the players.
So what you're saying is pride has been restored in the hearts of these players, whereas last year it did not look like they gave a damn. I just call it what it is. They were more concerned about what their Instagram post was going to be post-game.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give it to you, sir.
Kevin Steele has baptized his entire defense.
And the floor is yours, even though you're on mute. Technology is a beautiful thing.
You're still on mute, man.
I would say from the past years when I was there, we were more disciplined and more dialed in and focused when we had Kirby Smart and Lane Kiffin on the sideline, because it's not like the NFL where you got the speaker in your helmet. And, at certain points, at Jalen going through his cadence, and Lane Kiffin will see some, and he'll whistle, and Jalen know where to go with the ball. And I think, that'll be something hard to do to a first year starting quarterback, to have the OC up top and to let him, run it all. And as far as the defensive side, I would like for Kevin Steele to be on the sideline
Mm-hmm.
because if you go back and watch the years that Kirby Smart was on the sideline, doing some plays, Kirby Smart was down there on the numbers trying to get these guys lined up and, trying to get them the right call. And I think by Kevin Steele being in that booth, those guys that downstairs calling those plays will be kind of scared to step out on that field to get these guys to call because they may be scared of what Coach Saban is gonna say, which is Coach Saban is not gonna say anything long as you trying to get the job done and he know what you trying to do. I just hope that we don't have coaches that are afraid to get halfway out there to that numbers to get that play in so these guys can understand the defense that we running. So far as me, I would rather have the OC and the DC on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do come off the sideline, because Kirby know how, well, Kevin Steele know how he want his defense to be ran, and Lane Kiffin know how he wanted his defense. I ain't gonna use Lane Kiffin anymore. Where this guy he know how he want his offense to be ran, and when they come to the sideline, he can put on that drawing board. Hey, this is how we gonna do it. This is how we gonna switch it up. Instead of having an offensive analyst on the headset trying to listen to what he's saying and trying to draw it up at the same time in a short amount of time when we can get a turnover just like that and we still stuck going through headset to the drawing board where when it was Lane Kiffin, soon we came off the field, he got the correction fixed and we were good and we were able to rest and talk to each other and let each other know like, hey, we got your back. Just do your job. We gonna do this on this
Mm-hmm.
play. Like me and Calvin. Like Calvin used to come to me and say, "How you want me to block him?" I say, "Just I'm reading you. You block him the way you think you should block him, and I'm gonna go off for you. However you block him, there's no right or wrong way when you're a receiver and you blocking someone down the field for a running back. The running back got to read your block. So long as the running back reading your block, he gonna make you right and you're gonna make him right. So that's how me and Calvin got on the same page. And if you go back and watch the film, when I'm running the ball, Calvin is looking to see where I'm at, and he will block his guy in the right position. So for me, I think that we should have both of the coordinators on the field at starting off to let these guys know what we
Yeah.
really looking for, and just in case a mistake may happen, the OC and the DC can correct it very fast. Than to speak through a headset and have the analyst draw it up, and we don't have enough, and we may not have enough time. We may go out there and get an interception on the first play, and we don't have enough time to correct the plays that we messed up on the drive before. So that's my intake on it. I think that we
Yeah.
should have both for the OC and DC on the field to get the mistake corrected quickly.
And that last part of what you said ties into what we spoke on earlier, the self-policing and the self-reliance on each other. Maybe these coordinators are at a point to where they trust the guys to make the right calls, where they don't have to be quite as hands-on. And if that's the case, all what we've been hearing from Dallas Turner and others has come to fruition. We won't know that until this weekend. But this talk about Tommy Rees and by extension, the quarterback situation. You know, Tommy Rees stated in his offensive philosophy is personnel driven. He said, how can I fit what you do really well into enhancing our offense? That's similar to what we saw with Lane Kiffin. It's not like Bill O'Brien at all. It's not what he tried to implement. Jalen doesn't have to be Bryce Young. He gets to be Jalen. There's freedom in that. Your coordinator is designing something for you, not Bryce Young, not somebody else. So let me ask you guys here, how does that help the offense evolve into reaching its ceiling? Bo, back to 2016, how did that help your offense? And more importantly, how does it help a Milroe-led offense? Because you already saw this with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could kind of lead us with that, and we'll go to Steve, and then up to Stephen M. Smith.
Well, you just gotta let the guy. You just gotta let the guy play his game. Like I'm gonna go back to the USC game when Jalen first got in the game. I can't think of his name right now. Blake. I think Blake
Blake
started
Barnett.
that game. Blake Barnett started that game off against USC. And to be honest, I think that game was too big for Blake Barnett. And once those lights come on, it's like he was looking like a deer out of headlight. But once we put Jalen in the game, he acted like he been there before. He wasn't getting discouraged. He wasn't nervous. He acted like he had been the quarterback for 3 years there already. And when he got in the game, what did he do? Throw a touchdown to Darius Stewart. And then, and once he threw that touchdown to Darius Stewart, his confidence level went up. And now he played more and more plays, his confidence level went up and up and up. And you can see it in the first game. And he didn't get cocky. He didn't get arrogant. He stayed the course the same way how he did when he first started that game to the end. And he did that all throughout his years at Alabama. Jalen Hurts was the same person he was a freshman when he became a senior. He was the same person. Jalen didn't get mad about nothing when they switched him out with Tua. Only thing Jalen did was help Tua and try to help himself get better. So what I think that they need to do, let Jalen Milroe be Jalen Milroe. Because if you try to change a guy's game, it's gonna be bad because
disaster.
He gonna be trying to play how the coach told him to play and not playing his game. And that's just like me. Sorry.
No, you're good. We can come back. Let's come back to that though, Steve. You
know
preached
what?
about it the entire off season.
I'm thinking that you and that Bill, you need to use that often. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Talking to ex-players, they start thinking about all the stuff that they did and everything, and it's like a flashback. And you can never give us enough information. I'm listening
That's
to Bo.
true.
Bo was like, okay, like I did when I told little boy to block and this and that. He reliving the moment. So you got it, man. I'm listening to him like, man, I didn't know all this happened. So Bo could write a book on here, and we just sit back and listen. So
yeah.
So that's why
absolutely.
I like,
that was awesome, man. We relived the way through your eyes, and that's why we have you here.
So people, we giving it to you not just from our perspective, we giving it to you from actual players' eyes. Yeah. So we look when Bo get the floor again, hit the bell as soon as he get up because he's gonna give us another locker room story or something. He gonna give it to us.
I love it though.
No,
I love it.
I'm just trying to give it to you so you can understand. So you can understand what's going on, because most people on the outside looking in and they making up all these assumptions.
There you go.
Totally incorrect. They making up assumptions.
Bo.
They making up assumptions that is totally incorrect.
Right, so let me say this. Okay, so I'm gonna make this short and quick.
Sorry, Steve, Bo took all your time.
Thank you, people.
Took all your time, Steve.
No, okay, so
real talk. Go ahead,
bro. No, that was funny as hell. Real talk though. People, I'm liking what Tommy Rees is doing. Tommy Rees is doing what Bill O'Brien refused to do. That is making a game plan that is catering to this kid's talent skill. Both saying the same thing. And the thing is, people, especially our fan base, that really pisses me off. They're still thinking, and they will not let go of last year and what Bill O'Brien did to this kid. He set him up for failure, but his skill set was so good, he still succeeded even after his mistakes. This is why I think that this guy, Milroe, I really believe If he goes off in the Texas game, mark my word, he's going to automatically be a Heisman candidate. He's going to automatically, because the dude is just too good. The thing is, you got our fan base saying, "Oh man, he's going to do this, and that," and then Ty Simpson's going to come in. I mean, they're like really wishing this guy would mess up, and I don't understand why. But again, I really believe that Tommy Rees is setting everybody else to perform to their skill set. I'm talking about the
Mm-hmm.
tight ends, the receivers, the quarterback, and all you got to do is go out there and play your game within the system and have fun doing it. And people don't want to understand that, but that's what I'm seeing, and I think that's what Bo told y'all from the inside. That's my case.
That's powerful. Bring it home, Stephen M. Smith. You've been waiting patiently up there in your deacon's chair.
Now I'm gonna say this.
Vision pastor chair.
I think two coaches tied this in. I think it's Tommy Rees and Eric Wolford as the OC and the offensive line coach. Think about this. You have an offensive line coach in Eric Wolford who wants that group up front to be aggressive, to be enforcers, to be physical. You compound an offensive line that will pass block, that will keep Milroe protected. Now he's even more comfortable, even more confident in that pocket, making those decisions as well as running. And now you have an offensive line that's going to put their hands on you also so you can run the ball the way you want to run the football. So now it's no longer Tommy Rees's play sheet, but Eric Wolford's like, bro, I got the offensive line to produce you, to produce Milroe, and to produce these backs. So it's a combination of Wolford and Tommy Rees.
I love that. I love that. Steve, what you got?
Let me say this real quick too. I believe this as well. I believe that the coaches are actually letting the players be who they are. I believe that man, it hit me and then it went away just that quick. But I just believe that they're letting them be who they are, and I feel like the players gonna have a lot more fun. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going out there with their heads all over, they're gonna have fun, and I believe that. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Bo, you got something, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Steve said about these coaches letting these players be who they are. The coaches been doing that since 2007, since Coach Saban got there.
Mhm.
The player just didn't understand what the coaches were asking for. Cause when I was coached by Coach Burns, what Coach Burns used to tell us is that I can only coach you to the line of scrimmage. After that, you're on your own. You have to use your own skill set. It's up to you. You have to use your own skill set. And what Stephen M said was that um, these guys said this is their team. Coach Saban been stressing to them that it's their team. That's why he built the bottom for the player and the top for the coaches. That's why everything is at the bottom is for the players. And if you walk through there, you will see no coaches downstairs at the bottom. You will see no coaches in the locker room. You will see no coaches nowhere where there's player stuff at because they have their own stuff upstairs. And that's why Coach Saban always say, it's not my team. This is y'all team.
Yeah.
So y'all make the identity of the team. Y'all show the people what type of team this is. And I'm going to go back to what Steve said, that these coaches is starting to let these players play. They've been letting these players play. They just didn't know what they were asking for. They were so focused on trying to do what the coach tell them to do, from getting the ball all the way to scoring the ball. No, you get the ball, you do your job, and once you get to that line of scrimmage, you use your skill set. That just like Coburn said, he hated Eddie Lacy's spin move, but guess what? That's what Eddie Lacy gained. When Eddie Lacy spin, when he spin, he gained 5 yards, and he gonna spin again, and he in the end zone. Coach Burns, Coach Saban let him play to his talent. And I think that is what once these guys figure that out, once Jalen Milroe figure out that go through your cadence, go through your reads, and be Jalen Milroe.
That is.
Be
That
Jalen Milroe. Don't try to be something that you're not. Be the person you are who you came in, but better and smarter and know what you're doing, when you're supposed to do it, and how you're supposed to do it, and be consistent and be a game manager. If you can do that, you the starting quarterback.
Mm.
and I think that's where we can't run into a lot of problems this past year. These coaches were trying to get them to play to the image that they created, what they told them they had to be. And by doing so, they put them in this prison they didn't know how to escape from. The very essence of who those players were was in a prison. And and that explains to me the whole anxiety statement last year, guys. If
Mm-hmm.
who you are is being suppressed and being choked out by who the coaches want you to be, that's going to cause anxiety. That's going to
Mm-hmm.
cause you to play to a level that isn't you. And that's essentially what Bo and Steve and Steven are all saying right here. And if that's the case, last year makes a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
And
Steve.
you know what, the prison statement makes a whole lot of sense to me because I've been there. Not as a player, but I've been to prison. But that's none of your business. But the thing is, I mean, and the fans don't want to understand it. They want to be like, okay, they feel like because we have a couple of people who are passing the ball, they want to go back to the old Bryce Young situation. And now I'm beginning to remember what I was going to say. The coaches now, Alabama's not about a one trick pony anymore. Coach Saban, Coach Rees, and Coach Steele wants everybody to go out and do their part. Now Alabama's playing as a team because now the thing is we can go out, we can mess up, we can do misassignments, we can give half-ass effort, but guess what? Bryce is gonna come save the day. No, your ass is on your own now. You got to
Yeah.
carry your weight or get off the field, and that's what it is. And that was the Bama standard, as always has been the Bama standard, and then it was, and that's what it going, and that's what it's going back to.
Real quick before I let Bo get in his extra idea here. Don Parker, $5. Bill and Peter gone, and now the time for talking is over. No predictions from me. I just want to see this team play to the standard every game. All right, before we move on to our final topic, Bo, you wanted to throw one more thing in. What do you got, buddy?
Um, I I did some thinking, and I went back and watched that game where Will Anderson said that the old guy had anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Will Anderson meant to say that those guys had anxiety. I think Will Anderson meant to say was that those guys were not focused and they
Mm-hmm.
were not dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those guys were thinking about something else instead of that game. I don't
Mm.
think they had no
Mm,
type of anxiety coming out of that tunnel. I
Just wasn't
think he
focused.
used I think he used the wrong word for what he was trying to say.
right.
But once I went back and watched that game, it was a lot of mistake that was done. It wasn't anxiety. It was that these guys wasn't focused, wasn't dialed in, and wasn't focused on doing their job. I think that they were trying to do more than their job and trying
Mm-hmm.
to help others out, which put them out of position to make mistakes, and that created another mistake, and it just create mistakes because you got one guy trying to do another guy job and another guy doing his job, and that's why when you watch that Tennessee game, we rushed 3 to 4 guys and we still get beat deep.
Yeah.
Guys now they wasn't focused, they wasn't locked in. It was plenty of mistakes that were made. And we can and I know if Marvin were here, Marvin would say that it was Pete.
Mm-hmm.
But by me watching that game, I the players wasn't focused and wasn't doing their job like they were supposed to be. It looked like they looked at lackadaisical to me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And before we get to Stephen M. Smith's point he wants to make, he was holding up his juicy fruit to signify that he had something. Got to get to a couple of super chats. William Morris, or we call him Big Bill from New York, has got the $5 super chat. And
There
then
it is.
Kristen Kings with the $1.99 super chat. Bo, you're my favorite back in Bama history. And Bo, Bill did have a question for you. What did you enjoy more, pass blocking or run blocking?
Myself?
Yeah. What did you enjoy more, or what's easier?
Run blocking.
It's because you got the tee off on folks.
If it run blocking, that means I'm running the ball.
I got you.
Yeah, because if you want to say run blocking, I'm running the ball, that means I know what everybody responsibility is and who they supposed to block. Same thing with pass blocking. It's just that pass blocking, you got to know 7 to 8 things in a split second. Sooner the harder break, you got to know what type of front they in. And they in the over front, over G front, or they in a bear front, or they in a true even front, and then or they in a 25 front, a 55 front, a 57 front. You got to look at the front, and then you got to look at the secondary. So the secondary gonna tell you what coverage they in. So now you gotta watch who the center might point, and then the quarterback might overrule the center and might point somewhere else, and your job you may have the guy next to the might point. So if they might 57, you gonna have 55, and then they may, and now you know who the might point is, and now you going through your progression of what you have, and the quarterback say, hey, scratch that. We're going to mic 55. Okay, now I got to look outside, and then, okay, now he the mic 57. I got to look right. I got to look left. Then I got to get out into my route. And on top of that, you got to remember what your route is.
Justin, hit the damn bell.
But
I'm telling you, man, Bo is a player. He's going to break it down. And let me tell you something. Us people who I played. Well, I had the uniforms. I always got the uniform. But people who hadn't played in the games and fans who are watching, they have no idea. He's breaking it down to the football terminology. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? All I know is he was blocking and he ran the ball. When he got the ball, he got a touchdown. That's all I know. And the most famous thing I ever seen was when he did the Tennessee fans like this. That's it. That's it. That's it.
I mean, they asked the question: run block or pass block. So
they did. Coach Bo pulled out the playbook.
I had to give the difference. I would rather run the ball than sit there and pass block, because pass block, you got so much responsibility. When you running the ball, you reading who you supposed to read, and you know. I trust my offensive guy to double to ace block up.
You know who I trust? You know how I trust, Bo? I trust Jimmy Clay, because he just gave us $20 in that super chat. See y'all Friday. Roll Tide Roll. He will be there. Jimmy. He will be there. Stephen M. Smith, you had a point that you wanted to make, man. Bring us home with your point, and then we'll close into our final point, and we'll end this show.
Man, I'm just excited to see this game this weekend, man. I mean, you're looking at this is an opportunity where you get a chance to see this Alabama defense get tested by an offense that they're going to come out 4 and 5 wide receiver sets. So our secondary is going to get tested a bit, but that's going to be fun to see how they play prior to the Texas game. And then their defense is going to come out with a lot of stunt blitzes, twist looks. So this gives our offensive line a shot to pick up the blitzes, keep Milroe clean. We can run the football. I'm excited for a big game. A good first test before Texas.
There it is.
All right. Final statement, guys. We are going to break down Middle Tennessee this Friday, so definitely be in attendance. Where? The Paul W. Bryant Museum, 7 p.m. this Friday night. Pack the place out. We're going to give you a breakdown and analysis you can't get anywhere else. Not even Josh Pate has this kind of analysis.
Hold on. I got to get 2 of my glasses now for this. I got to get 2 of the glasses.
He's getting fogged up. All right. So let's close this thing out the right way, guys. I'm going to pass it around the room. Stephen Smith, you're going to start. Then we'll jump over to Steve Brown and then let Bo finish things up because he's like our Morgan Freeman. He likes to narrate. But guys, seriously,
I can't help that I play football and know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate what you bring. Seriously, but yeah, what is the statement ultimately Nick Saban is looking to make in Game 1 versus Middle Tennessee? Stephen, take it.
Watch out, we back. I mean, that's the statement. Watch out, we back, we for real. And it's going to start with taking care of MTSU and then looking at Texas like, don't think you're going to come up in here and run something because you ain't. So Alabama saying, hey, with this game right here, we for this and everybody in college football a message. We here. Georgia hadn't taken nothing. We still here.
I like that. Steve Brown, what you got? What message
I think
is it?
The message, well, first off, I think that it was very, very smart to put them on the schedule right before Texas. Why? Because Texas likes to throw the ball over the yard. And then us playing Middle Tennessee, I think it'll prepare us for that even more, to kind of, clean up our mistakes or whatever and this and that. But I don't believe in looking past the first team. I think Bama should go out, hit them in the mouth, and do what we do. But the real statement is going to be when we beat up on Texas. That's when it's going to get everybody's attention and say, "Oh, they're back. They're for real." So I'm looking forward to it. But right now, let's handle business first.
All right, Bo, you play for the man. What's his statement?
He's finna give a locker room speech. I know it.
Well, I think on Friday when we have, I'm saying we like I'm there, but
he's still there. He's still there. He took his COVID gear, Steve.
When we have that team meeting on Friday before walkthrough, Coach Saban gonna put so much fire on their ass that they gonna be ready to play the game right then and there, because he's gonna tell them, Middle Tennessee is not over a pushover. No matter the name of their team, no matter what their schedule was, no matter what their record was last year, this is a whole different team. They're ready to come in your house and kick your ass, and you just gonna sit there and let them piss on your lawn. It's not gonna happen. And that's a message that Coach Saban gonna get them to get them fired up, and he gonna tell them, do your job. If it was a camera in the sky that only on you, only on your number, what type of player would they say about you?
Hey, Bo, you know what?
Be the message.
Bo, you know what I thought you was gonna do? I just knew you was gonna do the little chant y'all be doing when you come out the locker room. Y'all boys ready? Yeah. Y'all boys ready? Yeah. Y'all boys ain't ready? Shit. When y'all come out the locker room.
That's only on Saturday. That's only on Saturday. Because if you get, you
getting fired up. Go for it, Bo. Do it.
Because you get to saying that, Coach Saban get to having chills then.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, let me tell you something. The best part besides Bama beating up on people, the best part of Alabama football is when they come out the locker room. That is like, it gives you chills. I'm telling you, look, we got to sneak in the game early Saturday. We got to sneak in early.
Yeah. Hey, another favorite part of the game. I gotta say this. Another favorite part of the game that was missing last year, folks. Y'all give a hand to Eli Gold. He is back in the booth this year, baby. Welcome back, Eli Gold.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Eli. We've been missing you. Since you've been gone, I've been getting Eli Gold wings from Baumhauer's.
Yeah, and those Lay's potato chips.
Hey, also, we're going to have our guy, Christian Miller, second-year sideline reporter.
Yes,
Christian
sir.
Miller.
Whoa. Hold on. Wait, time out. Somebody said that he looked better than me, so I don't feel like we should have him. Let's have a meeting about this when we get off the air, because the people saying he look better than me, and I'm the star of the show. I don't need nobody taking my shine.
And definitely not. That's why Marvin's not on tonight. Happy birthday, Marvin.
Happy birthday, Marvin.
We out of here.
Everybody, I want to remind you, Friday, the place to be is the Paul W. Bryant Museum, 7 p.m. We're going to be live. We need y'all live and going absolutely nuts in the audience. We can't do it without you. Before we wrap things up, I'm going to pass around the room for you guys to tell folks what you got coming up next and how they can find you on social media. Stephen Smith, what do you got? Then we go to Steve, and then Bo, you can close it all out.
Well, tomorrow we got In My Own Words. We got Saban's press conference also at 6 p.m. tomorrow, the final press conference before the first game of the season. So I'll be there getting with Coach Saban, trying to make it 3 times in a row where I don't get cussed out. We're going to make this thing happen. And then, of course, the actual show, we're talking Bama, MTSU. We'll get into a couple of matchups here and there, some things to keep our eyes on. But I'm pumped, guys. The game is this Saturday. We got football. We got Bryant Museum on Friday. Man, I'm pumped up.
And, guys, we will have some special guests come through. Be there to see who it is. Steve,
Me?
what you got?
Steven, I ain't been on the show since the football season ended.
All right, I know that, Bo, and that's the reason why I'm getting with you about your schedule for tomorrow.
It's because of time constraints.
So you've been saving me for the season, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because they like what I have to say.
They do. Bo, I'm telling you, when the season comes, it's like, where Bo at? Bring him on here. So I waited to the season to get you back in here, and I got time slot for you, Steve Brown. I see you down there.
Yeah. So listen. If I do come on, I want to make sure the set is bedazzled. My fan like bedazzled. So anyway, I have something huge coming up, man. That I waited, and now I'm going to announce it. It's very, very dear to me. I'm excited. Friday, 7:00 p.m. I will be at the Bryant Museum with these guys. I'll be there, people. Be in the building. Tell somebody that knows somebody with a bus pass and a car. Come on out to the Bryant Museum. I'm going to be there, and the guys, they'll be there too. We might have Christian Miller. We don't know for sure, but yeah, we're going to be there. And then Saturday, I'm going to be talking to fans. We're going to get to know you. We're going to be asking you questions. Be prepared for that. And then that night, we're sneaking in the game together. If you want to come with us, come on, but we're sneaking in. I know the access. Let's get it, Bama fans. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it. Bo, tell the folks how they can find you on social media, your website, and all the merch you got coming.
Well, first, I have a very, very important message. 7:00 Friday, September the 1st, we will be at the Paul Bryant Museum, and hopefully, I just pray to God that Steve bring the trophies back.
If not, that's coming out of Marvin's paycheck. So, folks, that's on the line.
Oh!
But all seriously, yeah, we will be, like everyone said, we will be at the Paul Bryant Museum at 7:00. I will have my my merch there. I will have my regular merch there, and I will have the merch with the Alabama Crimson Tide with the Scarborough in the back and the number 9. I'm thinking about having some in gold, but the main 2 is gonna be crimson and white. And we're working on the black one right now. And my clothing line. You can go to boscarborough.com and order with hoodies, t-shirts, leggings for the women's. I know they like the high waist. You can also get OJ Howard hoodie off of my line as well. And yeah, and I can't wait for you guys to see these Tennessee shirts that they're gonna be coming out here soon. I think the fans will really, really, really like these t-shirts. The
Yeah.
way how they design. It's just not it's just not a square picture. The way how we did the pictures is amazing, and it looked way better on black, and because it is black with white lettering with the Tennessee picture on there
It's gonna be
is
nice.
gonna be really nice. And I still have my cameo, so any birthdays, weddings, anything that you guys may want to request, you can just request me on cameo on both Scarborough, and I'm quickly to respond within 30 minutes, and I also give you more than what you actually pay for.
That
That
is.
sounds like an ad for his OnlyFans, actually.
Yeah, both to get naked for the folks.
You know,
I'm
it's a
telling you.
cameo, man. It's a cameo, man. A lady paid for a 30-second video. I gave her a minute and 15 seconds.
Okay.
What
Okay.
are you doing these? Okay, never mind. What are you doing these videos? Because the last
It's a
time
cameo.
somebody paid,
It's a
but that
cameo video. It's a cameo video. Me
It's a
telling
peekaboo
her
video.
husband happy birthday.
but oh, because last time somebody paid me for a video, I damn near went to jail. But we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I heard about that. You were behind
Don't worry
Quick
about it.
eating the messy cheese fry.
But folks, it is game week, and we're going to be having content all week long. Tonight, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. The final whistle will be on with Matt Caddell, Chris James, Dan James, Ty Hayes, and Coach Smook. So you definitely want to tune in for that. Tomorrow night, the Crimson Dynasty with Cece Payne. That's right, a female-led podcast. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and your very own Stephen M. Smith is going to be a guest. So tune in to what he has to say. But most importantly, Friday night, the Bryant Museum, 7 p.m. We need you there. Let's get ready for game day, the Bama Standard Way. Yes, Bo.
And I just want to say to the fans that watching, my grandmother had passed, so I would greatly respect for y'all condolences to me and my family. She was my best, she was one of my best friends. We used to get together and sit around, and
Mm.
I sit down and we'll joke about our other family members, and we had our own inside joke. So I lost my grandmother yesterday, so I appreciate the condolences from everyone, and I just want to say thank you guys for that. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
There it
We'll
is.
definitely keep you and the family in our prayers. Before we head out, we got one last super chat from Smoke Man. He gave us a whole $10. Is Steven sleepy? 5 more minutes and it's good night for Irene for him.
I went and worked out today, man. I'm trying to look good for y'all Friday, man. I worked out hard too. So yeah, I'm trying to look the part. So
Thank you, thank you.
because if Christian Miller coming out, I'm just letting y'all know if he show up with all the muscles, I'm grabbing him. So Bo, get him off me. Get him off.
I'm gonna get him
But
off.
I'm damn sure.
You got to Friday, so the day Tuesday, so you got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so you should have at least 1,000 push-up on you by then.
That is.
All right.
Take us home, Justin.
That'll do it for us here at the Bama Standard until Friday when you all will be there live, right? Until then, roll tide.
Bro.